Hello class, welcome back. It's time for your history mini lecture quiz time. I'm going to start off talking a little bit about the video that you're supposed to be watching, which is about Cincinnatus. Cincinnatus was a man who was a consul. So he was one of those one or two people who kind of advised and ruled with the Senate and helping and everything. And so he was a consul. When he was done, he left. He just, he went away, and it'll tell in the video all about some of those details. But then Rome came into some hard times. They had some enemies knocking at the door trying to attack them, kind of thing, and they were really worried. And back then, when they were really worried about something like that, and they had these two leaders, they wanted to go down to one leader, and the Senate would pick what they called was a dictator. Now, we've talked about the word dictator before in ancient Greece, and we talked about how it wasn't as bad as what it might be today. A dictator today is known to be ruthless and overpowering and unjust, not fair, cruel, kind of things, and absolute power. Back then, a dictator was somebody who would take over for a brief stint. They could rule for only a short period of time, and they did have the absolute power, but it was known that this was an honorable position, an honorable man, somebody that could be trustworthy, somebody who would be fair. And so they were put in that position. When Rome was in trouble, they would elect one of them, the Senate would. So the Senate went, and they said to Cincinnatus, Cincinnatus, we want you to be our dictator for this time of trouble. Cincinnatus then said, yes, I would do that for you. He comes back and he serves as dictator. Now, what is great about Cincinnatus is he was a man of honor. He believed that doing this was his civic duty. And that's something that you should just do for your country. The book actually defines it. The book actually defines it as civic duty is the idea that citizens have a responsibility to their country. So here it was, this was his civic duty to come back, and this is what he felt he should do, and he did. He came back and did a great job doing it. Okay. Now there's somebody else in history that I think you should know that was very similar to this, and it was somebody in our country. In the very beginning, there was a man, and he was a farmer. And somebody went out and they said, people or whatever, they went to him or they talked to him and they said, hey, we need you. He once was involved in military and different things like that. And these people go to him and they say, we need you to lead our army. We need you to lead our army against Great Britain, against England, against who has this country right now. So the man, thinking it's his civil duty, leaves his farm that he's on, and he goes and he becomes the general of the Continental Army, which is, or was, George Washington. Because he felt like it was his civic duty, and that was after he had already performed other things and been in England's army. He feels like, oh, this is wrong. I'm going to come back in my civic duty to this new country, which we're trying to get was the United States. He comes back and leads. And then, when he's done, he goes back to his farm. But again, people approach him and ask him and say, we need a leader. Will you be our first president? And he comes back and he does it again. So you can see Cincinnatus inspired a lot of people, a lot of things. Things are named after him. So, all right, let's go to question number 1 for your quiz. How long did Cincinnatus serve as consul of Rome? How long? Question number 1 is, how long did Cincinnatus serve as consul of Rome? And then where did he go? Once his time was up, where did he go? Where did consul go? Where did Cincinnatus go? Where did he decide? Was he sitting in his prime seat watching the gladiator games and soaking up the life of Rome, living it up, big city life. What did he do? Where did he go? Question number 3 is, and you're going to probably need to rewind this video a little bit, but what is civic duty? For question number 3, tell me, what is civic duty? Question number 4. How long did it take for Cincinnatus to defeat his enemies, or Rome's enemies? How long did it take? This, to me, is mind-blowing and awesome all at the same time. It's incredible for Rome to be this worried, and then all of a sudden Cincinnatus comes and just takes over and just does an awesome job. Okay, question number 5. This is true or false. True or false, Cincinnatus could have ruled for 6 months, but resigned after victory and returned to the farm. True or false? Cincinnatus could have ruled for 6 months, but resigned after victory and returned to his farm. Number 6. Super easy question. Might take you a minute to think about it, but you should all come up with it. What city in Ohio do you think was named after Cincinnatus? So number 6. What city in Ohio do you think was named after Cincinnatus? Then my last question, question number 7. I talked about an American leader in the Revolution that felt he had a civic duty. Very, very similar to Cincinnatus. Who was this American leader, this American general? It's question number 7. Who was that? Who was a leader in the American Revolution, a general that was very similar to Cincinnatus because he felt he had a civic duty. All right, so there you are, 7 questions. I hope that this was pretty easy for you guys, and I hope you're learning a lot. Once again, I said it in the science video, I'll say it again. I'm proud of you guys for sticking with this. I get to read those answers and your different things that you turn in, your comments, and it's awesome. I know it's hard, but you guys are doing a great job. Thank you very much, and we'll talk more about Roman leaders next week. So we'll see you later. Bye, guys.